Energy Secretary Jericho Petilla is pushing emergency powers to be granted to the President by Congress to deal with the projected shortfall of power supply in Luzon for the summer months in 2015. Is Congress open to the proposal of Secretary Petilla? Joining us tonight here on NewsLife is Congressman Reynaldo Umali, Chairman of the House Energy Committee. Good evening, sir, and welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening, Kathy. Good evening to everyone.
Sir, first of all, do you agree with Secretary Petilla's statement that a power shortfall may happen in 2015?
At the rate things are going, even as early as now, we are already experiencing power problems, not only in Luzon, but likewise in Visayas and Mindanao. So that it is not far-fetched that there will be that same situation come 2015.
Sir, what are the factors of this? Because the recent one that we're experiencing right now is basically due to the Typhoon Glenda. But is there an increase in demand from different sectors, or how about the source of our energy?
Definitely, with a growth forecast of something like about 7%, definitely there will be an increase in power demand by 2015. And so we have got to meet this through the establishment of additional generating capacities. I understand that by 2015, there will be additional generating capacities, but I do not know if all of these committed projects will be in place in time for summer of 2015. And so we will have to see the proposal or the request of the President and or the Secretary of Energy, the details of this, and I'm happy to note that Malacanang has said that there will be no additional burden to the people because in Congress this is also what we will look into.
Sir, in Congress, what options can you provide the President to address the looming power crisis?
Well, we do not know yet what is the parameters for this request for emergency powers. But again, I guess as early as now, I think conservation measures is something that we should also look into, because if we are able to conserve about 10% of total demand, which is about 10,000 to 11,000 megawatts in Luzon alone, then that would mean, or that will be equivalent to like putting up about 1,000 to 1,100 megawatt power plant. So who know? I don't know to what extent additional generating capacities are needed. So if we can solve this through energy conservation, this will be this will be better for the country.
Sir, how about renewable energy? What are our plans, or what is the status of the country in terms of renewable energy?
The Department of Energy had already increased its target for solar power from 50 to 500 megawatts. Again, you know, when you build power plants, when you build these solar plants, it takes time also. So the problem here is that we're aiming at the summer of 2015. And I do not know if all of these facilities can be put up and made operational by 2015.
Are there other players who are helping out to make these possible, like other private organizations or NGOs?
Not so much, because you know, power is mostly, and in fact, EPIRA had sought to engage the private sector in providing for and constructing additional generating capacities. But then our problems of EPIRA is that you know, the process takes too long to get all of these power plants in place. And so this has somehow, I guess, affected the operationability of these power plants by summer of 2015.
Sir, if the problem on energy supply will indeed challenge the Filipino nation. What industries will be most affected?
Well, the industries definitely will be affected if we have practically all, because all are connected to the grid, and even consumers. Actually, all will be affected because if there is a shortage and there are rotating brownouts of, per my earlier conversation with Secretary Petilla, I think they are looking at this for a period of about 6 to 8 weeks or 2 months, and this will be too costly for our economy.
Sir, you mentioned EPIRA earlier. You proposed to review and reform the EPIRA law. Will this include the government getting back to the business of power generation?
Definitely not, because if we do that, then we will go back to the old situation where it was a government that really managed the whole power sector and provided the energy. That is what EPIRA changed, and I don't think we are to go back to that situation. I think we should give EPIRA the chance to really fulfill its mission.
And sir, what will be your next steps as soon as you hear from the President on his requests or concerns for this special power to address the energy issue? Well,
definitely we will call for a hearing on this. We will ask the Secretary to detail, because Section 71 of EPIRA requires that first we need to establish whether or not there is a crisis that is forthcoming. If there is a crisis, then I guess we have no option but to support government on this, because ultimately it will be the country that will be affected. After determining whether there is such a crisis, then I guess we will have to now look at the terms and conditions for the grant of power, the parameters, the program itself of DOE. What is it gonna do to address this shortage that will happen in the summer months of 2015. So these are the things that we will have to hear, because as you very well know, all costs on power are passed on to consumers, and we would like to ensure that, as mentioned by Malacanang, that the objective really is not to burden the people. So we will make sure that people will not get additional burdens out of whatever will be the result of this request for emergency powers.
All right, sir. And on that note, thank you very much. That's Congressman Reynaldo Umali.